Assumptions and choices. These two are very huge, heavy, powerful, impactful words in our lives. We face this in all phases of our lives. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to split our life into three phases: childhood, adulthood, old age, and apply this topic on childhood and adulthood alone. First, on childhood. As a child, we didn't have much choices. Oh wait, I'm talking about my own childhood 40 years ago. From the school that I went to the medium of study, to the dress that we wore, to the food that we ate, we didn't have a say in any of this. But I'm happy today's children have a lot of say in all this, and they have a lot of choices. In fact, a lot more that leads to a lot of confusion as well. A lot of choices at a young age without proper guidance is actually riskier. So guiding the children among the plethora of choices that they have in a correct direction is a great challenge in modern parenting. But if you take assumptions, they've not changed much from my generation to what it is today, because it is all to do with societal conditioning we have all been brought up with, and we as parents subconsciously pass those assumptions to our children as well. And it also more to do with gender. Simple assumptions like pink is for girls, blue is for boys, a soft toy for a girl and a hard car toy for a boy, and a lot more. And as they grow and go to school, they face with a lot more assumptions. If you wear a glass, you're considered a nerd, and more. That is when I start to think education is not just about learning. It has to be about unlearning a lot of unwanted things in our lives. So unlearning these assumptions and accepting and understanding the children as they are is an important task in parenting. And this unlearning has to happen with all people at home, be it father, mother, siblings, auntie, uncle, and grandparents in particular. All of them have to be in the same pace when they want to teach the child something. And it is very challenging. It's not easy. But I'm sure we are getting there as generation passes. Only if you're able to do this unlearning and not pass on these assumptions to the future generation, we can see them come out in flourishing colors. Now I'll move on to adulthood. Adulthood is a phase where we start to think and realize the assumptions that are enforced on us by ourselves and by the society around. That is when we start to ask a lot of questions too. So the art of questioning is important. Asking the right question to the right person at the right time in a right tone can do wonders. So I'll just give a quick example here. When I joined college way back in 1995, 30 years ago, I had to fill a form for extracurricular activities. And there were these choices, 3 choices there: NSS, NCC, NSO, National Service Scheme, National Cadet Corps, and National Sports Organization. I was interested in joining NCC. Yeah, I ticked the form. I went and submitted it to the person collecting the form. He just went through the form, and when he saw this column, he just looked at me and said, "No NCC for girls." He didn't even wait for my answer. He just changed it to NSS and he kept the form aside. I walked out in disappointment. And then maybe a few days later, when we had this orientation program where the professors in charge explained about what each of these is, I saw the NCC professor in charge there and I wanted to ask him. But I didn't ask during the orientation. After the orientation, I went to his room and I asked, "Sir, I wanted to join NCC, but there was no choice. Why, sir?" He was surprised at my question and he was like, he thought for a moment and he said, "NCC is tough. Girls don't prefer it. NSS is easier, so girls go there." You see, clearly all these are assumptions. But I didn't respond, I just listened. And then I continued. But I'm interested in it, so maybe there are other girls who are interested. Why aren't we given the choice in the first place? Maybe it made him think. He didn't give me any answer. He said, okay, I'll discuss. For now, you go with this. Okay, I came out and I continued with my NSS. 2 years later, I was so happy to see an NCC unit in our college where my juniors joined and they were part of it. If I go back and recollect, I didn't ask this question to the office person who collected it. The previous speaker was also talking about a lot of people in authority. So I found the person in authority and I went and asked him. But at the same time, I didn't ask him in the public forum. Maybe I'm connecting the dots back now. Way back then, I was afraid to ask in public. So that was the reason then. But if I connect back, I can see that that's the right thing that I did. Because when you ask in public, like putting them on a spot and pointing it as something they have made a great mistake, it will only trigger the ego of the authority person and you cannot see the change that you want to see. So that's what I mean by art of questioning. This is just one example that I gave. Maybe if you look around your own lives, there are so many such examples. So when you want to ask a question, what to ask, when to ask, how to ask, whom to ask is important. If only we learn this art of questioning, we can see wonders in breaking barriers. So I want to move on next to another incident when we talk about this assumptions. A lot of time, we don't even realize that we are undergoing this and we make a lot of common mistakes. It is so common that we don't realize it is a mistake. So I want to recollect another incident which my professor quoted 15 years ago. I still remember it clearly in my mind. She said she was driving a car and she wanted to go and park it. She was standing waiting in the line to park. The security guard there, he was actually guiding each and every car, giving every minute instructions as to go, take left, right, go, turn this way and park it exactly this side, there. It's nice, people are helping. But she also noticed another strange thing. The security guard was not doing this for every car, but only for few cars. She understood what was happening. And when the security guard came to guide her, she just said, no thanks, you should only offer help when asked for. This is again based on the social preconditioned thought process that are there, the assumptions that are there. When you see a lady in a driver's seat, 100 assumptions pop up in everybody's head. This was 15 years ago that I'm saying, and that struck in me. It is actually, you see, this also is applicable to a lot other assumptions around us. We are only at work or at home. We only try to take that extra care to go and help people. But if you think clearly, there is only a thin line between caring and controlling. It is important to understand that and draw your lines clearly. Now, I want to talk about some workplace assumptions. But before I go to workplace assumptions, since there are a lot of students here, I want to give an important thing which students also tend to assume. And I interact with tens of thousands of students every year for their career counseling, career guidance. I see this pretty much among many students. Students, when they want to start their career, they tell me, I'm done with my studies, I'm going to start my career. I'm finished studies, I want to start my career. It looks, okay, what's wrong in this? But the point here is, you're done with your studies. There is nothing called as done with your studies. In the technology world we are in, that is forever changing, you and I have to be continuous learners. So that is something that we have to keep in mind. We are not done with studies. So when I talk about this, I'm thinking of a quote that many people refer to, and I also refer to in many talks. And the quote is 3 parts. It's 3-line quote. And the quote goes like this. We are currently preparing students for jobs that don't yet exist, using technologies that haven't been invented at all. In order to solve problems, we don't even know our problems yet. We don't even know the problem, then how can somebody teach you the solution? Maybe one among you will be inventing the technology that has to be used for solving the problem. So your schools, your colleges, your environment, they cannot prepare you and say that this is the problem and this is the solution. So it is important for you all to be, that's an assumption that a lot of people have when they want to start their career. So break that, and it is important for you to keep in mind to have curiosity within you and have an open mind to learn. That open mind to learn is to even not just learn from your peers or from your teachers, from your mentors. It is equally important to learn from your subordinates. As you grow in your career, you will see this. The next generation will be smarter than us. So you have to be open enough to learn without any ego from any person around you. That is when you can see success in your career. Now the last part I want to touch upon the workplace assumptions. There are so many. I don't know where to start and how many to say. But I'll give you only few things here. It starts with hiring to assigning any task to individual. The task could be anything. It could be travel to a foreign nation for a customer visit, or it could be working on a new product that involves some technology, new technology changes to be included, or it could be a time-sensitive deployment of an existing product that involves late-night working. Could be anything. The list could go on. But before assigning that task, the manager, he or she, it is gender neutral. There are hundreds of assumptions that pop up in a manager's head. The assumption goes on like, he or she might get married. She might become pregnant. He didn't have a study or he didn't have a degree in this course. How will he be able to manage the project? She's coming up from a faraway place. Will she be able to take late night calls? He has parents, elderly parents at home to take care. She has a kid who's taking board exam next academic year, so she may not be able to do. And it goes on. But I would want to say, like how my professor said, no thanks, you don't have to worry. Put the task on the table and let he or she decide what she wants to do based on her situation. If only we had more such leaders who could work without such assumptions, the workplace will be the beautiful place for any person to work, and you can see substantial growth. So I've just shared few examples from childhood to adulthood to your workplace to what we do at home. Each and every one of us here, we assign different roles. We are children, we are parents, we are spouses, we are siblings, we are managers, we are co-workers. In each of the roles that we assign, if you think clearly, we undergo a lot of assumptions. So it is important, each one of us, just at least think through, not even bring big change, just think through, am I doing the right thing? Is it what I need to do? Just that thought for a moment will bring about a change. The thought that starts within yourself and you start spreading it to others can make an exponential change in the lives of people around you. So TEDx is about ideas worth spreading. If there is one thing that I want you all to take home, it is, do not assume, let the choice be theirs. Thank you so much.